For the past 2.5 years, people keeps asking me, "Are you crazy? Why do you do this dirty job? Go and get a decent job." I simply smile back. Yes, I collect garbage. That's my profession, and that's a profession I choose voluntarily, and I'm proud about it. So it surprised people because I hail from a very remote, tiny village in northern part of Kerala. So I was the first person from my village who went on to Delhi University and successfully completed graduation and post-graduation in a history subject. So all of a sudden, these guys come back to home and started collecting the waste. So isn't it crazy enough? So what made me to do that? There were a couple of options. Having done with my college days, there was a couple of options before me. That's what everybody does. Pursue higher studies like MPhil and PhDs, or look for a job. The third thing, especially art students does, prepare for civil service exams. None of those options actually fascinates me. I wanted to do something meaningful for the society which can have a larger impact. And which leaves a footprint behind me once we leave this world. So I have decided that I will do something in the development sector. So the next problem was, what is that domain where I'm going to focus for the rest of my life, or which I can commit? So I did a bit of traveling, research. It was shocking for me that 75% of diseases in our country is due to environmental pollution. A report says that. And India produces 52 million tons of solid waste per year. Ends up, where does this ends up? The waste which we generate in a daily basis. 77% ends up either in landfill or incinerator or ocean. About 1 lakh people die in our country due to waterborne diseases. It's horrible. Look at, they're using 1,900 hectares of land for landfilling. At least the data, it's in 54 cities. It just does not include a city like Calicut. So, if you go in this way, we will need this area, we will need a 1,400 square kilometer area for landfilling. This area is equal to, if you put Chennai, Mumbai, and Hyderabad together, this will be same as this. So this garbage menace is going to be a huge problem our country is going to face in this decade. So there must be solutions. So I have decided that I want to make this planet a better place to live in for the generations to come. Not just to the human beings, but to all the living beings on this planet. So I started my journey in Coimbatore, in city. I wanted to start from the scratch, so I joined a couple of waste collecting people. These people were my colleagues actually. In everyday morning, we go around city and collect the garbage, and we bring into a place where we actually segregate into different kinds of plastics, papers, cartons, metals, glass, and all. One thing I found really interesting that a lot of waste materials, the so-called waste material we consider as waste material, is no more waste. It's a resource which has a value, but needs to be properly collected, transported, and disposed. For example, PET bottles, like water bottles, which we actually throw away. Our purpose is, which is of no use to you, once you finish with your drinking, you throw away, right? You might have seen a lot of people or scrap dealers, rack picking people, they picks it up. So we need to redefine the way we see the waste. It may be waste for you. A water bottle may be waste for you, which is of no use to you, but does not mean that it's a waste for everyone. Take the example of what do the animal eat, like cows, pigs, dogs. Our food leftovers are food to them. So our waste is food to them. So a waste, which if you want to call it as a waste, unless and until it reaches the ocean, or until it pollutes the air or water, soil, then only you can call it as a waste. So I realized that 70 to 80% of the so-called materials which we usually burn or dump it are not waste, it's a resource. And then the next thing was that I was actually looking at the sources of waste. Household waste are there, industrial waste are there, then commercial waste, hospital waste, the different sources actually. So, but we often miss a very important source actually. So this is a dining table when everybody has left, because everybody comes and eats, drinks, and enjoy their lives, right? So what we do is that it becomes a waste. We fix dustbins across the events, and make sure that wet and dry waste is being separated at the source. We train these people, or our own staffs will go there. And all the other dry waste, plastics, spoons, papers, and all kinds of other dry waste, we do a kind of secondary segregations. And we send it for recycling. And in a single event, were around 18,000 people had gathered. An event, it was a wedding actually, it was a former minister's son's wedding. Around 18,000 people gathered, splitting in 2 days. This was what we had recovered. It's another event, it was a large conference, around 3 lakhs of people had attended. So we set up we did not set up waste management plants. We set up resource recovery centers because we no longer consider it as a waste. So we set up resource recovery centers at the conference ground itself. And we do the segregation. See, in another events, we trained around 100 volunteers actually only for this purpose. It was the first time in the history of Kerala that 100 volunteers are only for the waste management. So we trained these people how to segregate into different kinds of plastics, papers, aluminiums, cartons, and all. So this is the quantity of waste which we had recovered from another event. See, all this would have gone to landfill or incinerator. This is how they used to dispose. Then I found that the real waste management is not about managing the waste once it generates. It's about preventing the waste generations. It's like we say it's in preventive medicines and curative medicines, right? So it involves a lot of operations, human labor, and all to recover this process. And also, it's not a sustainable solution. What if there is not someone like me tomorrow to pick this up on? It will end there. They will do the all practice. So I started shifting my focus to something different. Yes, everybody is in Kerala, everybody is familiar with this banana leaf. But I'm not sure how many of you have eaten biryani or non-vegetarian banana leaf. No, we think it should be, banana leaf is supposed to eat in vegetarian and some traditional food. So we started supplying these banana leaves to different events. So that, you see the glass, these are not paper glass or water bottles, these are reusable glasses. So at the end of the event, there is no waste left behind. You can put everything in one bag, or you can put everything even in one pit. We actually compost all kinds of dry, wet waste. Then I was looking for more alternatives actually. How can you organize a wedding with zero waste? Then I found that these are arecanut leaf plates and glass cups. And also at the same time, I started renting out glass cups. Because in an event, there would be different kinds of desserts, so we use paper cups for that. There would be payasam, and there would be different dishes. So we have different kinds of this reusable stuff, which we rent it out. 40 schools have gathered in one place for a festival like that. Around 4,000 people attended. They actually ordered 4,000 water bottles. So I just introduced a concept called water kiosk. Because at the end of the event, again I need to manage those 4,000 bottles. So I ordered around 60 cans of water with 20-liter capacity, and at the end of the event, there was no water bottles. So that's something we have done. And for me, the waste management should start from one's inner self, not from their dustbins. All our drinking water sources will be polluted. The air we breathe will be poisonous, as we have seen in Delhi. The soil which gives food to us will be infertile. So I end with a quote of Martin Luther King, which always inspires me. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matters. Thank you.